A lot of people like to focus on the amount of tips they make in the bartending business, or in the art of being a bartender. But there's so much more that you can make outside of tips. And one of the main things I want to emphasize on is the connections you make in the bar business. And my favorite story to tell people, my favorite example to give is how I started this place, the Lion's Den. The Lion's Den was always a dream when I first got started. That was on paper in the beginning. Then eventually, I decided that I wanted to actually get in the mix and start teaching. And so once I put together all the things that, all the things that I wanted to teach to my students, it was all about finding a place to do it. And originally, I set out to do it inside of clubs. And I remember bartending at one of my DJ's weddings. And what happened was one of my customers from the bar that I worked at kind of gravitated over to the bar, and we were talking about the business and different alcohols and things like that. And so I kind of pitched my dream to him, not knowing, I was just telling him what I was looking to do, what was my next step as far as a bartender. And he asked me, he was like, why don't you use the club you're at? I said, well, I've been working with them for years, I kind of want to step out, a little bit on my own. And he goes, well, you can use my club. And I was like, what? You own a club? He was like, yeah, you didn't know that? I'm part owner of, such and such club, and, I've seen you over the years. I know you work hard. I know you have skills. You can use my club. We'll earn out the details later. And, it just kind of went from there. So you have so many connections or people that you can just right underneath your nose in a bar. It's your job to tap into it. Find out what your customers do. Find out their expertise, and just really get to know your customers, because you might have $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 million in the club on any given night. All you gotta do is tap into it and talk to people. This is Alexander Graves with another great tip, bartending tip for you guys who are new in the bartending business. Like and subscribe. More videos on the way.